Welcome back, Focus Learners. Let's jump right into today's explainer. We're tackling a super highly requested topic today, and that's a natural protocol for joint repair. If you've been dealing with stiffness, discomfort, or just plain old knee pain, I want to set a really reassuring tone right out of the gate. We're going to look closely at the actual physical mechanics of your knees and figure out how, with the exact right raw materials, you can give your body what it needs to rebuild from the inside out.
So, let me ask you this. Do your knees feel like they literally have rust in them the second you step out of bed? We've got to acknowledge this physical reality. You know that morning stiffness, that awful clicking sound every single time you take the stairs, or maybe a sharp pain that has you wondering if you're ever going to walk comfortably again. It's incredibly frustrating, and honestly, your experience is completely valid. Most folks just assume this is an inevitable part of getting older, right? That the grease in your joints is just gone for good. But as you'll see in a minute, the science and traditional remedies tell a completely different story.
Here's our quick roadmap for this explainer. 1. Why your knees hurt. 2. The joint sponge effect. 3. Foods for cartilage repair. 4. Your daily healing routine. And 5. Protecting your joints long-term. Let's get to it.
Section 1. Why your knees hurt, or the mechanics of joint pain.
Okay, we need to completely toss out the whole "I'm just getting older" narrative. Your body can actually repair itself, but you really have to understand the environment inside your knee first. So, your knee joint is basically two bones, your thigh bone and your shin bone. Sandwiched right between them is this soft cushion we call cartilage, and surrounding the whole shebang is synovial fluid. I want you to think of this thick, slippery liquid exactly like the oil in a car engine. It's literally there to keep everything moving smoothly without any friction. But when this fluid starts drying up, well, the cartilage starts wearing down. Without that protective engine oil, your bones literally start rubbing against each other. And that bone-on-bone friction, that is exactly where the pain, the swelling, and that nasty clicking sound are coming from.
Section 2. The joint sponge effect and how cartilage actually gets its nutrients.
Here's the real problem that most people just don't know. Cartilage doesn't have its own blood supply. None. It depends entirely on that synovial fluid we just talked about. Think of your joint like a giant sponge. When your joint is in motion, like when you take a step, that cartilage sponge compresses and squeezes all the old, used-up synovial fluid out. Then, when the joint is at rest, the sponge expands, pulling fresh, nutrient-rich fluid right back in. But here's the absolute kicker. If your diet is lacking, that new fluid getting sucked into the sponge is basically empty. It's got no building blocks. And over time, starving your cartilage like this is exactly what causes it to break down.
Section 3. Foods for cartilage repair. This is our arsenal of raw materials.
So we need to make absolutely sure that every time your joint sponge expands, it's soaking up a really rich broth to help it rebuild. Let's look at some super accessible powerhouse foods. First up, barley. It's a really simple grain you can grab for under $10, but it provides essential minerals like magnesium, phosphorus, and manganese. These are absolutely crucial for supporting your joint structure and tamping down that internal inflammation that causes all that morning stiffness. You literally just soak it overnight, boil it for 10 to 15 minutes, strain it, and drink the water. Next, sesame seeds. Honestly, forget milk. Just 100 grams of sesame seeds packs nearly 10 times more calcium than a glass of milk, plus the magnesium you need to actually absorb it. You just lightly roast them and chew them really well so your body can unlock those nutrients. And finally, citrus fruits and amla. Why? Because they are absolutely loaded with vitamin C. Your body literally cannot produce the collagen that makes up your cartilage without vitamin C. These are your fundamental structural building blocks.
But we also need to talk about protection. Foods that are rich in omega-3 fatty acids are vital because they actively block inflammation right at the source. They literally stop the proteins that trigger joint damage right in their tracks. So whether you go for fatty fish, salmon, mackerel, sardines, or if you prefer plant-based stuff like walnuts and flax seeds, getting these into your diet protects the cartilage you currently have from breaking down any further.
Now take a look at this number, 2,000. You've probably heard of turmeric and its super powerful anti-inflammatory compound, curcumin. But here's the thing, most people are using it completely wrong because your body actually struggles to absorb it on its own. But when you combine turmeric with a little bit of black pepper, a compound in the pepper called piperine spikes the absorption of curcumin by up to 2,000%. 2,000. To actually put this to use, traditional remedies rely on a golden joint drink right before bed. You take a natural joint lubricant called Gond or edible gum, roast it, grind it up, and mix half a teaspoon of it with a quarter teaspoon of turmeric and a couple pinches of black pepper into some warm milk. And why before bed? Because nighttime is when your body officially enters repair mode.
But hey, what if you need relief right this second and not weeks from now?
Well, this DIY knee oil is a fantastic, fast, topical solution to bring down inflammation directly through the skin. It's super simple. You just heat up some lemon peel, turmeric, nutmeg, and black cumin seeds in a base of sesame or mustard oil. Let it cool down, and then give your knee a really vigorous massage with it. And make sure you pay special attention to the back of the knee. That area has a super high concentration of nerves, making it really receptive to this soothing anti-inflammatory blend.
Section 4. Your daily healing routine. Let's look at a simple protocol.
Now, knowing about all these different remedies is great, but they only actually work if you use them, right? So here's how they fit seamlessly into a normal day. In the morning, you wake up and drink water that's had fenugreek seeds soaking in it overnight. Yes, I know, it's pretty bitter, but fenugreek contains saponins that actively maintain your synovial fluid. You also drink your boiled barley water. Then, during the daytime, just make sure you chew a tablespoon or two of those roasted sesame seeds and get your omega-3s in. That could be a handful of walnuts or maybe some salmon for lunch. Then finally, at night, about an hour before you go to sleep, you sip on your golden joint milk with the gond, the turmeric, and the black pepper. Seeing it laid out like this really proves how easily you can maintain that fluid and give your body the exact materials it needs to rebuild your joints while you're fast asleep.
Finally, Section 5. Protecting joints long-term, or the weight of the matter.
If we want to avoid severe stuff down the road, like surgery, we absolutely have to stop further damage. And there's a striking statistic you really need to know. For every single extra pound of body weight puts about 4 pounds of pressure on your knees. Just think about that for a second. If you've got chronic inflammation and your joints are already losing their lubrication, that pressure multiplies and it adds up incredibly fast. It creates this really destructive cycle. This just totally underscores the absolute urgency of reducing inflammation and maintaining a healthy weight to take that massive compounded pressure right off your cartilage.
I really want you to remember this quote directly from the source material. Your body is designed to repair itself, but it needs the right materials. This is your reassurance. You really don't have to do everything perfectly all at once. Just start small. Cut back on some sugar, since we know that drives inflammation. Swap out your cooking fats for healthier options like olive oil. Maybe toss some sesame seeds onto your lunch, or soak some fenugreek tonight. If you consistently feed your body what it's actually asking for in just 30 to 40 days, you might start to feel a very real difference. We're talking less stiffness, less pain, and much, much better movement.
So I'm going to leave you with this final thought. Your health is in your hands, and quite literally, it's right there in your kitchen. Please don't wait until the stiffness turns into something worse. Are you going to choose to take control of your joint health today? Start giving your body the raw materials it's basically begging for, and let's get you moving again. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and as always, keep learning.